Hello everyone and welcome back. I mean, I'm back as well. It's been like 3 days that I wasn't streaming. Crazy. I think that is the longest break I've taken. See now as well. Streamlabs updated and I don't know where everything is or what it's doing. So hopefully everything's okay though. Let me close some stuff. So yeah, we're back with more Disco Elysium. Oh my goodness, I think I do need to see what's wrong here. Hello Catherine, welcome. Okay, for some reason, this is very bad. Oh, there we go. Okay, I don't know why so much of my CPU is being used. That's terrifying. Should improve soon. This is what happens when I don't touch it for a few days. It just forgets how to work. Oh boy. Okay, well, hopefully it sorts itself out. Let's get back into it. I've forgotten a lot of what's happened. Hope everyone's doing well. My goodness. Something might crash. My video is probably not very good right now. Because it looks like a few things are just not working the way they should. In fact, let me just, maybe I should restart the stream. That might fix it if I just restart. Let me just restart the stream quickly. I'll be back in a second. Yeah. Back. In a second. Okay, I should be back now. Yeah, there were just some issues before, but it should be better now. I'm just checking, make sure that it is. This is why I need a dual PC setup. Yeah, but those don't come cheap. So yeah. Okay, it seems like it's much better now. So we can resume the rest of the stream. So we're back with Disco Elysium. I've forgotten everything that we've done. We need to prove this. Apparently. Get 2 signatures for Everard, we're faking that. All these apparently will only be, well, not all of them, but these last 2 will be available to us tomorrow. Also, I have to make a big correction. Wow. Okay, hold on. You see, Streamlabs updates and breaks itself. This happens. That's the cycle of things. But anyway, I've said that there are only 3 days in this game, but that's not true. There are like 10. Okay, cool. Now I have my road. How did the studying go? It went well. I think I got quite a bit done. Oh, there's a lot of things happening in front of me. Just trying. You must be relieved to have finished up. Yeah, for the day. But I mean, it wasn't that difficult. You put the clothes in the trash. We still have some things to figure out in here. So now I can really get started with the stream 6 minutes later. Now that I've got my wits about me and everything's back to kind of working. Okay. Where should we go now? We confronted the Hardy Boys last stream, I believe. Everything's up now on YouTube. Excuse me, so that's great. We have to invest in visual calculus. Right, and there will be plenty of opportunities to do just that if we just keep going. So the reason I thought there were only 3 days is because I misread the soundtrack, which, you know, that happens. Basically, Revachol during the day has 3 themes, and I misread the title as Revachol Day 3, and because it ended at 3, I assumed there were only 3 days, but there are a maximum of 10, and most people seem to finish around the 7th day. So I don't know, we're on the 2nd day now. So you probably still have plenty of content. And I'm not surprised. This makes me feel a little bit better about how little we've got through relative to all the content in the game. And we most definitely will not get through everything in one playthrough. But I hope to get through quite a bit and read quite a bit. Sorry, dude, we still don't have your bowl. We'll have to figure that out as well. I hope everything is looking fine on the overlay and whatnot. I don't know who this is. I don't think they're a real NPC. Like one that we have many dialogue options with. Or maybe we do. Shouldn't a working class woman be working? What are you doing?
Looking for something to read.
Yeah, she reverts her attention to a worn out paperback. Good.
It is.
I'm a policeman.
I know you are.
Everyone can see that. The rectangles.
Points to sleeve. Good then. Do you need the help of a policeman?
What with?
She tries hard to focus on the book stand. Maybe your husband is missing? Watch her browse books. Her hands move over the book covers. The tips of her fingers look rough, stained with yellow. It seems like she has spent a lot of time at work, smoking. Another comrade. Years of labor are pressing down on her shoulders. She deserves a hug for all the work she's done for mankind. Give her a hug. No. That's not polite. Just invading someone's personal space like that. Maybe your husband is missing. My husband? No, he's not. So where could he be? Okay, thanks. You're welcome. She reverts her attention back to the book's end. Maybe your cockatoo is missing. Maybe your children are missing. I don't mean to disrespect her, but you are being a bit of a cockatoo here. What it's worth, I agree, but cockatoos can't be stopped when they get like this. It's better to indulge him at this point. I was asking about your cockatoo. Is it missing? I don't even have a cockatoo, and guess what? It's a trap. Never say what. What? What? Even if I had, it wouldn't be missing. Alright, cockatoo not missing. I just wanted to make sure. Great, she turns her attention back to the book stand. Just one more question. What did you mean by me being a cockatoo? Nothing. Go read up on them if you're so interested. There's a great book in the bookstore. Maybe you should... Maybe if the cockatoo is your astral captain, or your heraldic bird. Heraldic, I guess. Actually, that's exactly what I'm going to do. Thanks for the tip. Wonderful. Wonderful. The store is open. That's all for the moment. I'll let you read. Is our new task to buy a book. Find your heraldic bird. The working class woman said you're a bit of a cockatoo. What if it's true? Go read up on cockatoos in the bookstore. Maybe you'll discover something new about yourself as well. Maybe. Let's check, why don't we? Oh, so I've forgotten a bit of what's happened in the game. Hopefully I'll remember soon. And we'll get on with more of the mystery solving. A little bit tired. Ooh, I did have to get those videos up yesterday. So now both of the Return of the Obra Dinn streams that I've done so far are up on YouTube. I had to just stitch them together because of technical difficulties. But it should be easier in the future. I think I figured out how to capture it without too many issues. And yeah, look forward to that. Where is this book on cockatoos? Why does this have such a dark theme all of a sudden? Look through the display of books. I did not activate my assistant. I promise I didn't say anything to my phone and it just started listening to me. Anyway. Man from Heimdall series. I think that's Heimdall. Rows and rows of Heimdallermen blur your vision. You make out some titles. Man from Heimdall and the Mammoth Riders. Man from Heimdall. Return of Heimdall and the solipsistic Man from Heimdall and the Heimdall Man. Good God, how many are there? Maybe 100? Man from Heimdall and the Sages at the End of the World. Man from Heimdall and the False God. Man from Heimdall and the Scorched Earth. Man from Heimdall, the Heimdall Colonies. Man from Heimdall and the Swamp Beast. Man from Heimdall and the Snow Crabs. Is that all? Pain Threshold. Not even close. Man from Heimdall in Hell. Man from Heimdall and the Forest of Slaves. Man from Heimdall under the Lake. Man from Heimdall, Heimdall Burning. There's even the Trial of Death, a pastoral combat game book set in the world of Heimdallerman. And so much more. Pain Threshold. Do any of the books call out to me? A twinge at the back of your head makes you flinch. Your eyes start twitching. Ow. What is it? Your hand reaches toward a book with glossy cover art of the very muscular man from Heimdall, in chains, kneeling in front of a staircase leading to a throne. A woman sits on the throne, leering at the man. She's laughing at him, belittling him. Between the throne and the Heimdallerman lies a bonfire, casting shadows on the wall. The shadow of the woman's headdress looks like a pair of devil horns. The title reads Man from Heimdall and the Devil Woman. Aren't all women devil women? Interesting. Oh, it's cheap. The display rack before you is burdened under piles of Man from Heimdall novels. Sure, let's buy it. The Man from Heimdall and the Devil Woman. She nudges her glasses. It is a bestseller for a reason. You can read that to pass time. Cool. We'll do that at some point. That was a lot. There's still plenty to do. We could go back here, talk to people. We still need to figure out where this cockatoo book is. Crime fiction? Nope. Oh, what's this? There's a very specific book right there. From a Strike, a guide to a well-behaved cockatoo. A sulfur-crested cockatoo sits on the cover, its beak slightly open, and looks as if the bird is calling out. The book title, From A to Zrik, a guide to a well-behaved cockatoo. Flip through the pages. Turns out there are so many different cockatoo species, and they all have behavioral patterns. What about this guide to cockatoo? Storekeeper? It's a must-have if you own a cockatoo. I've heard they're quite capricious. No, we're not stealing it. I want to buy the guide to cockatoos. Be a good idea. It's not really. We'll get a lot of experience from it. And we're not too bad for money. We'll pick up books. I mean, not books, bottles. Oh, a nature enthusiast. Good choice. I knew it was a good idea to keep that around. Probably not that good of a book then. We have 2 now. It's just like Friends of Ringo Ishikawa. Finally, making another game, The Friends of Ringo Ishikawa. That's all I need in my life. More Friends of Ringo Ishikawa. I love that game. Yep. Look forward to the series that are coming up. I mean, we still have quite a while until we do a new series. This game's going to last quite a few more streams, I imagine. We're probably about not even halfway, maybe a third. But Return of the Obra Dinn is much shorter, and I have some very cool games that I'm looking forward to playing on the stream. We can still get a reality lowdown. We could do that, I suppose. I wonder how our perception is doing. How's our experience looking? Ooh, close, close. Are there any bottles to pick up? Here's Joyce once again. I can't remember quite what we last discussed.
What can I help you with?
I've got some more questions about reality. What times are these? These are unimportant times, Detective. She puts her finger to her lips and then points at you. You and I were born after the dust had settled, 1,000th of a second too late. Too late for what? For the big time. Her eyes light up. There's a flash of teeth. What's the big time? The revolution, she says. Ha! And what is this revolution I keep hearing about? It's quite easy. Every 100 years or so, our species gets together to decide what's next, who gets shot in the head, and who gets the mineral rights. It's a real kerfuffle. Would you say it was a bunch of apes duking it out? Who got shot in the head? Would you say it was a bunch of apes duking it out? Isn't this about our dream that we had? Well, of course, we're talking Duke Out Central, full swing interspecies warfare. And the apes, were they evil? No, I would say the apes were neutral. She looks at you, her gaze sharp. Sounds like evil to me. Okay, neutral. Sounds like evil to me. Okay, neutral. On the other hand, she turns north to the bombed out buildings lining the waterfront, then shivers slightly. Who got shot in the head? Those would be the communists, generally speaking. 40 million people got shot in the head during the World Revolution, but the communists, they all got shot in the head. Oh, and the anarchists too, they shot them well. So well, one forgets they even existed. Did the communists and the anarchists shoot back? Did they ever? Before they got shot themselves, they shot 2 million people. Truly a kerfuffle. That's a tragedy. I suppose we could be a bit empathetic. Yes, the Red Deluge. The Intel-Indian Deluge, they call it. I had a deluge too in my head. Point to your little head. Point to your little head. Little head. Wow. Sure. Yes, an acute thiamine deficiency can be exacerbated by alcoholism. She blinks her green eyes. Exacerbated means made worse. Anyone else get shot in the head on the opposing side? Oh, lots of people. Even the king got shot in the head or thrown beneath a horse or drowned. Accounts differed. It was unceremonious. She shakes her head. Just as well. He wasn't actually the king, just the king's nephew. That happens a lot. The real king abdicated and lived out a long and productive life as a venture capitalist in Grad. Or Grat. I'm not really sure which one it's supposed to be. Smart king, cowardly king. I love that king. Communists. I don't care about kings so many more. Cowardly king. I mean, running away from your country is not great. I prefer the term risk-averse. King Guillaume was nobody's fool. He could smell a PR disaster brewing, so he got out alive and his nephew Frizzle got shot in his place. Him and tens of thousands of his wonderfully fascist kingsmen. It was a wild time. You got the mineral rights. The liberals got the mineral rights. She looks up to the sky, then inland at the crumbling city. And by mineral rights, I mean everything. Okay, and by liberals you mean? Does she mean communists? Liberals are usually middle-class people, detective, or the remaining gentry, the beneficiaries of the pre-revolutionary arrangement. Some were rich enough to stay with the constitution. With monarchy, big mistake. Others bet on the revolution. They were called the ultras, or ultra-liberals. They fared well. How did the liberals win it all? Win it all, not at all. They didn't win so much as survive. We were the last ones standing when the war ended. Everyone else got shot in the head, remember? She's one of them, of course. If everyone got shot, who was there to surrender to? To a foreign intervention, the coalition, those people really took the mineral rights. But you just said the liberals already took everything. The liberals took everything that wasn't nailed to the ground. The coalition took the ground. She stomps her rubber-booted foot. The ocean, the laws, and the people. Who are the coalition? The coalition of nations. I'm going to say Grat. Grat, Mesk, Vesper, Messina, Orania, and Surlich Clef. The armed center of the world. They landed here and ended the revolution. It was the moralist thing to do. There was bitterness in her voice, tempered with understanding. She is critical, but ultimately understands the cause. Moralist? The moralists believe in keeping everything exactly the way it is. They believe in mineral rights and not shooting people in the head. At least not in the same manner and volume as the others do. They are the long-standing provisional rulers of Revachol now, the coalition government. This is their zone of control. They embolden the RCM with crumbs of the same law they took. Technically speaking, you are a moralist. The color of moralism is blue. The official motto of the Moral Intern, or Moralist International, is a blue forget-me-not, a piece of the grey sky, unofficial. For a moment, there was hope. I don't think I am a moralist, ma'am. Not just technically, practically. For a moment, there was hope. If always picking the option that doesn't commit to anything, then hell yes I am. And also not. This is the one that doesn't commit to anything, guys. We found it. I like blue. A devout man of the center, she nods. Hard to come by. It's good to have someone who takes a moderate approach to head shooting in your line of work. I mean, when was this kerfuffle? The turn of the century revolution. She smiles mischievously. Mischievously. I think mischievously is a erroneous pronunciation, but I can't remember now. Mischievously. Don't answer it. It's a trick question. The revolution began in '02 on the Isla of Hrot, though by the end nearly the whole world had hate that word. Who started it? It wasn't a who, but a what. A pandemic of Tsaroth, a particularly virulent prion disease, which the authorities in Hrot proved unable to contain. Then Mazov came along and overthrew the government. What did the Tsaroth do? It made people overthrow their governments. Wow, really? No way. Wow, really? No way. Of course not. It was a highly infectious microorganism that destroyed brain tissue. The actual causes of the revolution were material. The pandemic only provided the spark. Ah. Where did it spread from there? From Revachol and Krot, not far, the world managed to cauterize itself. Mazov's government was overthrown in '08, and the coalition crushed the Revachol commune 2 years later. It was the end. What came next? Why, you and I, officer? She spreads her arms, raincoat flapping in the wind. Our lives in the zone of control. Something tells you her life and yours are not that similar. Maybe it's because she has a boat and you have that necktie, a pair of pants. Our lives are very different from each other. No doubt, but we share the same time and position on the planet's crust. That counts for more than you think. What is the zone of control? A city-state divided into free market zones under the everlasting interregnum of... Interregnum? I don't... Long day. Big word. Of the coalition of nations, and you, of course, the citizens' militia. The clatter of typewriter keys fills the main hall of a reappropriated silk mill. Precinct 41. Chad Tilbrook presses enter. Outside, Officer Elfboy Williams slams the door of an armored motor carriage. The zone of control is the third incarnation of Revachol, after the failure of the suzerain and the commune. What happened to the rest of the world? Modernity. They developed the marvels of interstellar communication, telematic, milius, radiation, colored plastics. Meanwhile, in Revachol West, the aftermath continues for the 5th decade. 51 minus 8 equals 43. Wait, you're saying it's been like this for 43 years. Thank you, logic. Time flies. What have we been doing all that time? The 20s saw a decade of urban war west of the river, leveled offshore platforms in flames. Still, it's regarded as an improvement on what came before. '08 to 19 was simply hell. And after that, the 30s, things settled down in the 30s. Revachol East transformed itself into the world's largest tax haven. With the international community's blessing, for the first time in a long time, it seemed like things were going somewhere. Then you happened, your youth in the 30s. That's when they discovered disco. Yes, and quantitative easing. It was a market mirage, unfortunately. The 40s dispelled it, an Isla-wide hangover, you might say. So here we are, she curtsies. We got the reality lowdown. Welcome to reality, baby. And we leveled up. For her to be where she is, Wild Pines Group must have picked the right side. Which side was Wild Pines Group on? They picked the winning side, that's why they're here, and others are not. They chose wisely, they got lucky. Yeah, they probably chose wisely. Perhaps it wouldn't have turned out that way had I been in charge. I might have bet on the king and led the Pines to doom. You'd have sided with the king? I would have sided with the cannons. If you'd seen the calibers of the things, you might have too. She thinks perhaps it's better I was born when I was. 10 of the 14 Indo tribes got it wrong. Belt, Capri, Tricentennial, so I suppose I would have been in good company. She narrows her eyes, turning her gaze to the future out of professional habit. All she can see are vague outlines of a great winding down. The doldrums, people killed, but no great transitions of wealth. It makes her feel old and something else, something you can't put your finger on. What would you have done differently? Good question. She cranes her neck. What would you have done differently? No, her first. I'll ask you. Who are you in all this? I would have sought a medical solution. Sounds like Tsareth drove those people mad. I would have killed more. 400 million if that's what it took. I would have positioned myself very precisely. I would have made it out with the mineral rights. I asked you, who are you in all this? And I asked you, passless detective of the citizens militia, what insight has acute encephalopathy? Oh wow, encephalopathy. There we go. Yeah, I guess seeking a medical solution would have made some sense. So a quarter of humanity, she calculates, simply lost their minds, and how would you stop a prison? A complex folding protein. Unlife with the technology 50 years ago, with some hygiene, modest social care, and perhaps a little research program. Liquidate the rabid or prion-infested dogs who want to kill everyone with cleansing artillery power. Would you stop a prion? It was a prion. It's not a prison. Wow. Wow. Privatized healthcare. Okay, maybe it's impossible. What happens, happens. With some hygiene, modest social care, and perhaps a little research program. Good hygiene, really. A very moderate solution to an extreme problem. It's those sort of half measures that doomed the authorities in Krat. And they failed to step up. Mazov and his party stepped in. In this particular case, maybe a more robust state response might have been appropriate. The lieutenant puts down his notes for a moment. Opinions expressed here do not reflect the official position of the RCM. She turns to him. And what is your official position, Lieutenant? My position, ma'am? My parents got ripped to shreds in the revolution. I would have gone the same way. I was saved by being 2 years old. That's my position. The abattoir. Wow. It's enough about the times. They are what they are. Who knows, and afterly may yet come. Anyway, enough sentimentality. Is there anything else you want to know? Not so fast. Who is she in all this? Ask her who she is. She owes you an answer. I want to know what you are. She hums. She won't maneuver her way out of this one. What are you? I'm the vilest of the vile, she says with a sudden flash of teeth. A traitor, a devourer of nations and infants. Ugh. I am an ultra. Dios mío. Across. A liberal. I liberate pretty hard myself. I don't understand what's so vile about that. Haven't you heard? She nods. Pedagogically. Goodness. I don't look for these words to say aloud at 5:30 in the afternoon. I'm a nether creature of the Forbidden Swamp, one of those who pushed the king under, and betrayed the revolution. I can see you thought I'd gone extinct. No sane person identifies as an ultra-liberal anymore. Not in broad daylight. She looks you in the eye. You're a centrist at heart, a real moralist. Tell me, now that I've uncoiled myself, do you find me frightening? In her green eyes, you see a mixture of truth and self-satire, decades of guilt and pride. Forgive her. But only because you like pearlescent teeth and those light green eyes. I forgive you, but only because you're charming. I forgive you. I don't care. I do hope so, she bows. I hope we are able to remain collegial despite it. Remember, we were partners, whether you like to admit it or not. There's blood on many hands, I assure you. When the dust settled, the liberals were the only ones left to clean up the mess. By virtue of their survival, they were handed enormous power to shape the future. She turns her gaze to the Delta. This was all our last generation managed. Would you have done something differently? With due respect to our overlords, the eternal caretaker government that keeps Martinez a monument to the efficacy of its artillery, I would not have relinquished sovereignty to the coalition, not here in Martinez, and not in the Stella Maris or Delta beachheads either. If not for my own sake, then for my daughter. We had an obligation to defend our sovereignty. We should have burned the whole Isla down rather than let them have it. Dark orange flames reflect in her green eyes, an oil fire on the ocean. You're a patriot? Yes, I suppose I am, but I wouldn't be a patriot anywhere but here. Seditious talk, ma'am. The lieutenant puts down his notes and gives her a look. You have a daughter? Yes, whatever else I am, I'm also a mother and a wife. She closes her eyes, then opens them again. Now, shall we return to reality? That's all for now. Thank you. We finally did it. What is this? We're getting reports of normal, reasonable, temperate political opinion somewhere in Martinez. You must be mistaken. I'm a real radical. That's me, Mr. Reasonable. Someone's got to keep it sane around here. It's because I keep saying none of the above to political stuff, isn't it? It's also about that, but it's also more. Perhaps it's the hangover. Perhaps it's a temporary surge of serotonin, but something tells you it's time to become a citizen of the kingdom of conscience. No more talk. Sign me up for a passport. First, where is this kingdom of consciousness? It is not a place, it is a moment in time that can only arise in the right circumstances. In all of human history, it's only been achieved a handful of times. How do you bring about these circumstances? Incrementally. History's greatest catastrophes have been brought about by people trying to make the world a better place too quickly. That's the genius of Dolores Day. She recognized that progress is meaningless if its gains are lost because of instability. Real, lasting change can only come about gradually, increment by increment. What are all the things that are wrong now? Okay, but what's the kingdom of consciousness actually like? The kingdom is difficult to comprehend and even more difficult to describe, partly because humanity will need to discard many of the categories that define unlimited today. The kingdom of consciousness is post-capitalist, post-national. It is also post-industrial, post-ideological, and even post-sexual. Sounds incredible. L1Z, let's go there right now. That seems fine. I still want to live for the present, though. I don't think I want to be a moralist anymore. I think let's just get it. Opt in. Slow down, Mr. Enosmall. Did you miss the part about compromising, taking things slow? Alright, then let's get there eventually. That's right. Remember, real democracy is just around the corner for Revachol. When that real democracy kicks in, a long time from now, we are all going to be so much happier. We got a new thought to put in our thought cabinet. Ooh, Kingdom of Conscience. Oh, I don't mind minus half light. Do not worry about that one. Oh wow, we got a lot of points. Because we even leveled up. Heartache is powerful, but democracy is subtle. Incrementally, you begin to notice a change in the weather. When it snows, the flakes are softer. When they stick to your worry-worn forehead. When it rains, the rain is warmer. Democracy is coming to the administrative region. The ideals of DeLorean humanism are reinstating themselves. How can they not? These are the ideals of the Coalition, the Moralist International. Those guys are signal blue, and they're not only good, they're also powerful. What will it be like once their nuanced plans have been realized? Yeah, we can do it, maybe. How's this one going? I still have quite a while to go. Let's level up perception. Why not? I think I've put plenty of points in perception, and for a good reason. It gets checked a lot. The more you notice, the better, I'd say. What are the downsides to having high perception? Because there are always downsides. Cool 4. Fine detail detectives, essentialists, urban scavengers. Perception wants you to be open to the world with eyes, ears, and nose working at full capacity. Enables you to take in what others don't notice. The little wad of bills hid away in the sugar bowl. The odor of a perp hiding beneath the floorboards. The gulp of a suspect after claiming they've nothing to hide. At high levels, perception takes in every final detail of the physical world, enough to overwhelm all but the strongest mind. However, with low levels, you are going to miss out on everything. After all, you can't arrest what you can't see, hear, or smell. Okay. Let's do that. Yeah, we can redo this one. We still need a map. Still don't know where we can get a map. But let's do that check again. In fact, I'm gonna save before it because I'm sick of getting these wrong when I have such high stats. And I know that's not how you're meant to do it. But do you know how many times I've attempted this check? Oh, there's something here. There, working class drunk. You know what this means, right? Case solved. Cracked it, all in a good day's work. Wait, what did I crack exactly? What do you mean, what did I crack? Look at how working class that drunk is. It's her husband, the missing husband. It's the future leader of a proletarian uprising. It's, some third option? No, stop goofing around, recruit. It's the future leader of a proletarian uprising. It's her husband, the missing husband. Husband wasn't missing. No, it's not. Yes, and you found him. Now go and tell the working class woman. Protect and serve. Recruit. Didn't she repeatedly tell her husband isn't missing though? But he is missing. You heard her, the worry in her voice. Give me champagne. I'm going in. This doesn't add up. I'm only making a fool of myself. Do marriages make any sense? Does honor? You're not a filthy philosopher. You're an officer of law. It's time to ace this case and not brood over your reputation. We can deal with the perception management later. Give me champagne. I'm going in. There's no need for champagne when there's honor. Recruit. Go and tell the woman, working class woman what you found right now. Hold on. There's something down there. The musty smell of the potato cellar in spring emanates from the air vent. Huh. A potato cellar.
Yes?
Nothing. I thought we would be able to tell him about it. Oh well. Let's go back and do it this way. Ah! My back. Okay. Oops. Forgot how much reading was done in this game. Not really. And never forget. Oh boy. I hope we're all enjoying it though. Just loading screens right now, but that's fine. Okay, let's throw on the torch. Cool. Oh, whoops. Sorry. Huh? I wonder if there are any bottles in here. Okay, let's just get to the polar bear fridge. Remind me how high this check is right now. It's 58%. 58. I've put so many points into this. I really just want to get this one. Please. Please don't be mad at me, guys. Please. I've invested so much just to make this probable. Come on. Didn't even have to. Save scum. There we go. Your arm reaches out and your eyes close, as if by their own volition. It's dark all around. You feel cold, slippery flesh. First with your fingertips, then under the palm of your hands. What is this? His face, his cheeks, his nose, his fat swollen lips. Like a spider, your hands crawl over his features. Everything is silent. Crawl up his nostrils. Put your fingers in his mouth. Squeeze his nose. Put your fingers in his mouth. The oral cavity is cold and moist. A ball-like tongue attaches itself to the base of the mouth, rolling around like a scallop. You're on the right track. Play with it. This feels right. Open your eyes and look. The tongue moves freely in the cavity. The mucus of the mouth is slippery, delicate to touch. From the soft meat, teeth are budding. Hard pearls of bone in the gums. And in the back of the mouth. Can you feel it? You're so close. Rip his drawers open now. Look in. Open your eyes and look. A vision of black and dark red death pried open by your naked hands and studded with teeth. Looks like he's laughing. Death fumes rising from the throat, and there, in the back of his mouth, above the bell of the uvula, right in the soft palate, you see a hole, barely visible to the human eye. It is swollen shut, almost vanished, no larger than 0.4 centimeters in radius. The edges appear darkened. An abrasion color. This is what we're after. Say abrasion color. Say that. Abrasion color. Abrasion color. The lieutenant looks in. There's a pen in his hand. His notebook is open at the copy paper. Touch it with your finger gently. A black trickle of liquid runs into his throat from the wound. Put your finger in. Ugh. Your index fits right in there. A tight tunnel of flesh opens up. Tissue damage. Ugh, this is not for the squeamish. Wide enough for 2 fingers. As you push both in, you reach through his mouth right into his brainstem. Brainstem? Yes, that's what this part is called. Feel around first. The basal ganglia feels clumpy. When what entered here has torn apart his reptilian complex. This man will never sleep again. Never wake. Push deeper. Your fingers slide into the remains of his limbic system. There is no resistance. It's gelatinous. The slug-like structures are damaged too. The tearing extends deep into both hemispheres. The ululations of the limbic system have ended. All is quiet. There's a cavity cut right between the hemispheres. The lieutenant answers with the sound of his pen and paper. Push deeper. Your fingers are all the way in now, reaching toward the inside of his skull. The cavity goes further, but the entry wound isn't wide enough for the rest of your hand to follow. Wriggle in. Your fingers reach toward his skull. His cerebral cortex feels jelly, cold jelly. Strange fluid streams down your wrist as you push deeper until you feel it on the tip of your finger. Sharp, serrated material. The edges cut right into your skin. Interfacing, fish it out. I feel a solid object right at the. I feel a solid object right under the skull. Can you get it? He searches his pockets for something. Inspect the skull first. No, this is too much. Pull your hand out. I do have something that I could put on to improve my interfacing. I don't know if I can still do this one though. Let me say, no, this is too much. Wait, detective, just as you start to slide your fingers out comes this small folding knife. The lieutenant moves its blade across the man's skull, searching for the exit wound. There. Nod toward the protrusion. Withdraw your hand 4 centimeters, please. Pull your hand back and nod. With a crack, he punches the knife into the skull, then one more time and one more until the bone comes loose like eggshell. Inside you feel the jelly move from his poking. The object is still under your finger. Can you push it out? Push. A small flower of metal blossoms from the man's head, followed by your finger. A bullet. The lieutenant picks it up between his fingers. Unknown caliber. Rifled. Sorry. You may remove your hand from the victim's head now, officer. Well done. Item gained. Fractured bullet. Here's your prize. He drops the bullet in an evidence bag and puts it in your hand. Your other hand. The one not covered in blood and cerebral cortex. He turns to his notebook. We need to add an item to an injury list. Injury number 4. Oval entry wound with an abrasion collar. Soft palate, back of mouth. Eye velocity, temporary cavity in brain tissue. Small exit wound on the occiput. I don't know. Occiput? I don't know. He underlines the injury forcefully. How does that sound? Sounds like heaven. Sounds about right. Opinion. Fatal injury. Yeah, goddamn right. Click, click goes the pen. And one last thing, we should amend injury number 3, ligament mark. New opinion, non-fatal, post-mortem, treatment. He's proposing the bullet was the real cause of death and the hanging and attempt to conceal this fact. Treatment. The ligament mark, the fractured hyoid bone, it was all treatment. Yes, and the belt around his neck, the hanging, even dragging him to the yard, all of it was done after this man was already dead. Agreed. Aren't we jumping to conclusions? I have had this doubt since I inspected his hand, officer. There was no signs of struggle, no claw marks on his neck. Why? Why didn't he fight for his life? Secret task complete. Find the bullet before you get fooled. Gain 30 experience, level up. There have been other signs too, small details. Everything is too neatly designed for us to assign probable cause here, as we did foolhardily. Well, no more. We almost fell for it, he thinks. Almost. There is, of course, the very real possibility he was both shot and hanged. Maybe they just shot him while they hanged him? Who would do this? Why would anyone do this? I think I need to wash myself. That's true. To hide something. The real killer? The real motivation? What really happened here? I think I need to wash myself. Wash off the death smell. Oh, he nods. You really, really do. I am glad to hear you say that. Your room in the whirling in rags should come with a bathroom. Be sure to make use of it in the evening. Who would do this? That's for us to find out. But this will make finding them just a little easier. Maybe they just shot. No. Maybe the bullet holds more answers. Yes, we should take a closer look at it. I am certain it has more to tell us. Hand-eye coordination. This little thing could reveal much about the weapon that shot it. What happens next? Proceed. We bag the corpse and carry him to the holding pen of my kinema. I can transport him to processing myself, but I will be gone for the rest of the day. Will be gone? What should I do in the meanwhile? Work on the case, tend to personal matters, try not to do anything too dangerous. An officer needs backup in a neighborhood like this. I'll leave that choice to you, and one more thing, he looks you in the eye. Great work, detective. After you bag the corpse, Kim will leave the party until tomorrow morning. You can do side tasks and even the main case, but it might be more difficult to plan his exit accordingly. Tell me something, dead man. Shoot, Looney Rooney. Okay, enough. Let's bag him, Kim. Take him away. The lieutenant takes the body away. You work alone for the rest of the day. We did it! We made real, unadulterated progress. Progress! I get pogs in chat. Alright, he takes out a shiny black body bag and starts pulling the plastic over the dead man's face. I hesitated because I didn't know if I had to do his voice or not. I will need a little help carrying him. You take the hands, I'll take the legs. Bag the corpse and drag it to the motor carriage. Boom. We did not get fooled. I love detective work. You. Got the bullet. Here we are outside. We can level up. Again. What should we put it in? Visual calculus maybe? Intellect based. We got plenty of stuff. Wash off the death smell. You reek of it. Wash it off. There's a bathtub in your room and the washing whirling in rags. A good place to visit once you have some privacy. Yeah, I mean he's left privacy as well. Interact, we can look at the bullet. Evidence fracture bullet, use interact. Okay. Let's first remove this. Cool. Do we open up another thought? Maybe. Unlockable. We can do that. And then we can throw the Kingdom of Conscience in there. Conscience. We could also level up one of these instead. Volition or Visual Calculus. I mean, I've been threatening Visual Calculus for a long time. We might level up something else soon, so I think we can still afford to put something here, and then later we'll put it somewhere else. Yeah, there's a different set of tracks, I remember now. Cool. We're right outside it, but let's go into the whirling rags and wash off this death smell. Seems like a good idea. Phew, that was a lot. What progress. Kind of need to find some bottles if I want to pay for tomorrow's rent. Not rent. You know, staying in a hostel fee. Ooh. We're alone again. It's been some time. Let's go up to our room for a second. I like how he turns his head a little bit. Just to look where we're looking. Sometimes it looks kind of funny. Yeah, we need to go into our own room. I wonder if there are any bottles around our room. Cool. There is. Might count. Ah. That one doesn't count apparently. This one. And why don't those count? There's some books up there. Yep, there's another one. Cool. Picked up all of the Oh, there's one back there as well. The window stands broken in its frame. Cold wind blows and look out. Morning light hurts your eyes. It's hazy, but you see the ocean. It's not morning. And some war-torn buildings. Cool. There's another bottle. Take all. Nice. This is not the cleanest bathtub in the world, but it's cleaner than you are right now. That soap scum smell. It smells like life, at least compared to you. Earn yourself a bath. Want to live forever with the corpse smell. Memento mori and stuff. No. Earn yourself a bath. Bathtub slowly fills with water. The water beckons. Undress your clothes and submerge. The water is only lukewarm, but still comforting, like amniotic fluid. A few beer cans are bobbing up and down along your flanks like sad duckies. You feel nice and lonely and so tired. Take the beer cans out. Now you are alone with your thoughts in the tub, but it's easier than being alone with your thoughts outside the tub. Linger in the tub a little. Your fingers grow pale and are covered with tiny whorls on the water as the water cools. Imagine something. You see the corpse, you can still smell the cadaver on you. It's going to take more than one bath to get rid of that stench. Then, houses along a narrow street. A video rental. Darkness on the planet's curvature. Get out. Yay, we washed off the death. The waterline recedes as you stand. You are cold now. Your clothes stick to your still moist skin. Why did this say this again? I don't know. I like how it's very loud. Sorry. Very loud in the bathroom. Yeah, we washed off the death smell. Great. We also completed that. Cool. We're doing all sorts of great things. If there are any more cans about, or anything that we can pick up. No, doesn't seem like it. Could just sleep. That's an idea. It's a nice nap time. Nice time for a nap. Maybe there's something here that we can look at. Is there anything that we can look at? We could knock on this door. Knock again much harder. Still nothing. Leave. Okay. This is Kim's room. Need to look at here. Oh, there's something. Money. I'll take it. Real. Nice. Anything else? Maybe. I've already been onto the balcony a few times, but hey. We still don't have a map. Wish we knew where a map was. And once again try that one. So let's give that a go, perhaps. Keep working on the case. Impress Kim. You could also just read. That might be an idea. No, we can only sleep after 9 apparently. There's also the karaoke stuff we could tend to. Probably not the best idea. I wonder if Garte has anything new to say to us.
Can I help you?
No. There are plenty of bottles around there, though. Anything new in here? Could maybe zoom out just a little bit. The book up there. Many books there. Can't go through the door still. Let's inspect the outside before we finish off for the day, unless there are any bottles around here. Oh, is that one? Nope. Anything? Don't think so. Okay. Let's just look then. Let's look really hard. Okay. How much is the visual calculus check? It should be pretty high. Yeah, 72. Okay. I won't save scum this one, please. Cool. Ooh, that's nice. The tire tracks were left here by an unknown event that took place some days ago. It's a message written in the language of burnt rubber. Start, crash, reverse, turn. Some of the rubber sticks to the tiles right in front of the whirling rags. This is point A. The driver started here, then accelerated straight into the fence. What happened next? The driver proceeded to back out of the yard, barely stopping before hitting the adjacent building. Before heading south, must have been in a hurry. This is significant somehow. Maybe, probably. An ominous warning of bad things ahead. I think I got it. Cool! We got that. Any bottles? Any bottles? Here's that working class woman. We could talk to her again about her missing husband. I don't really think she wants to be bothered with that. Anything else around here? Could sit on a bench. Maybe. Glad to see the benches are socially distanced. We could read, but I mean, hey, that's actually the end of the stream. I'm gonna save here. We had a really good, productive day. We learnt a lot, leveled up like 3 times, and we got the body out. Great. Join me tomorrow for more Disco Elysium, and then Thursday will be Return of the Obra Dinn. I've outlined all of this in the schedule, and yeah, keep up with those, and there'll be plenty of good things to come. Have a good day, and I hope I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.